Hey, how's it going, everybody? Bid Andy here, and today I want to share some tips on what are the best ways to maximize using an Ultragor. As many of you have seen in the current Sardinex Shop for the Feline Festival, there's actually an Ultragor in shop. So I'm sure a lot of you will be getting your hands on this, as am I buying it right here. And the crazy thing about Ultragor is this is probably the first time we've ever seen one that doesn't cost thousands of gems or real life money or win one from a giveaway. So, basically one of the only, quote unquote free ways to get an Ultragor here is finally in game. So if you can get 6,000 gray fish to get this Ultragor, you really should consider it. But basically, Ultragor is the best boost in the game. It is the only boost that gives you 1,200% boosts of anything. And it gets you that in item find, XP, capture rate, gold find, and movement speed for 12 hours. Now, before diving in, I do want to note that I'll be focusing purely on maximizing experience gain from Ultragor. If you are using your Ultragor to get mythic equipment, let's say you're going after an ancient, many of these tips will still apply, but my main aim is to help you guys max out XP gained during these 12 hours of Ultragor push. So first things first, what game mode gives the most XP per hour? At first you might think, okay, maybe it's invasion, maybe it's raid, because every time you clear it, you get so much XP, but it is actually going to be world boss. And one thing you guys need to know about world boss is no matter the tier and no matter the difficulty, you get the same exact amount of XP. So here, when I go to switch it to like normal or heroic, you can see the only bonus is item find, so experience won't even change. One tier 3 netherworld boss. And I should get, 4.6 thousand experience. Here I'll just join these guys in tier 17 Nordic and help them out quick. You've been removed from world boss. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just solo one. That was actually kind of tragic. Should get right around that 4.6 thousand experience again here. 4.8. So the world boss doesn't matter, the tier doesn't matter, and as far as experience goes, the difficulty doesn't matter. Netherworld is going to be the absolute fastest. Netherworld always will only have 2 enemies. So, you only have to get through this guy and this guy. Since we're in tier 3, it has the lowest HP. And so if you put together a double extort or even a triple extort, these enemies can be destroyed super quickly. Now, in theory, if you have a strong enough build where you're one-shotting higher tier netherworlds, do some testing. You might be able to do all the way up to tier 13 with absolutely still one-shotting. But it completely depends on you and your build. Like this takes me, that took me a few extra turns. That is lost time. We want to make sure we're getting the most XP per hour. Hopefully you guys have been saving up Xeals, because I'm going to suggest that you prepare at least 6,000 Xeals. After chatting with some top players, and I want to give a couple of personal shout outs to Zombie and Oliver Noko, Zombie Slayer I should say, for helping me out with basically setting some expectations around Ultragor. But basically, it seems like you guys will need around 6,000 Xeals for a full 12-hour run with using a triple extort build. Now, if you're faster than average, consider preparing more. If you think to yourself like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm grinding a full 12 hours, go with whatever you're comfortable with. But if you want to make sure you don't end up, 10 hours in and you run out of Xeals, make sure you have around 6,000 Xeals or even more. Personally, I'm going to make sure that I have 7,000 Xeals just in case I'm absolutely grinding beyond belief. Now, I did mention that 6,000 Xeals was using the triple extort build. So right here, when I click on Oliver, he's got one of the versions of triple extort build. He's got Flame Warden, 2 out of 4 set, and of course it's off the bottom of the screen there, of course. Convenient, but you can just barely see it. Extort is the 2 out of 4. There's another set called Sigbjorn that also has a 2 out of 4 extort. So those are both options. And then W340 basically copies that set effect that requires 2 pieces. So whether you're doing Flame Warden or Sigbjorn, if you have either one of those plus W340, boom, you've already got double Extort. And then we go over to the ancient called Evolvium, and one of the upgrade paths gives you Extort there as well. So in general, I mean, this takes 4 pieces. I mean, it does take 2 ancients, so it's very, very expensive. But if you pump all of your stats and damage here, Oliver has a beautiful build here, and he's even got like Clover and stuff, and Bobbit, you know, just gorgeous. A little bit of overkill here for what we need to clear tier 3 Netherworld. But if you get the 2 out of 4 Extort here, double that with Weedy, and then, you know, get that +1 Extort with Evolvium, you will have the goated triple Extort. And then you just pump all your stats into damage, so that as soon as you go into battle, before your purple turn bar even starts lighting up, before I even get a turn, I have to wait for everybody to run up, and then I have to wait for my turn bar to fill up. And yes, it takes like a split second, and especially when you're at Omega times speed on Ultragor, it's very, very quick. But that is time that you are waiting, and you are not dealing damage, you're not clearing the enemies, you're not already on your way to the next Xeal. So triple Extort, the advantage is, A, it one-shots them. You have super high damage. It one-shots them. And then the other advantage is Extort happens before the turn bar even starts filling up. So it's extremely fast. And honestly, if you have enough power, even just a double Extort is probably going to do just fine here at tier 3 Netherworld. Another quick tip, and this goes for Steam players, is that if you're rerunning these, like here, I'll do a few runs. If you are on Steam and you finish your run, you can keep your mouse in one spot. So you can click regroup, click start, and then this is a Steam only. You know, if you're on mobile, you'll have to click, you know, so sorry. But you can press space bar. You can literally press space bar right here. Like you can see my mouse is down here, and it only works for pressing yes during the Xeals reruns. But if you just press space here, I don't have to move my mouse. And over 12 hours, you know, move your mouse back and forth, you know, hopefully this will save you guys from like carpal tunnel or something. You know, you just have to click, and then say yes. So, or click, space, basically, just over and over and over. Now, some of you might be wondering, should I do this 12 hours solo, or should I do group runs? All the high-level players say it's generally better to run it solo. Even though you do have to click this, you know, your team is not full, are you sure you want to continue? If you just press that space bar, you know, that you might think like, oh, that's extra time in between each run. However, it avoids all delays caused by other players. You know, whether somebody's internet goes out, whether they need to use the bathroom, whether they just have slow game, you know, whether they're playing on a microwave from 1985 and it just doesn't load very quick, you know, whatever. Other players are going to slow you down no matter what. Over a 12-hour period, there's nobody that's going to perform perfectly. You know, in an ideal situation where you have a group of absolute godlike players, maybe it could go faster by like microseconds per run, but 99.9% of situations, it's just going to be much smoother as a solo player. Now, speaking of slowing down, if you guys didn't know, Bit Heroes has what's known as a memory leak. So basically, the amount of RAM that it takes to run the game will increase and increase and increase as you keep it open. So on a PC, I always have my task manager up on the side, keeping an eye on my RAM usage, and I like to restart when my game gets around that 2,700 to 3,000 megabytes of RAM used. So depending on your device, you know, you might be above or below that. And for mobile, it's, you know, you can't really keep track, but you should. But you will notice that the game starts to slow down in between loading screens, especially. And, you know, you might, it's kind of a balancing act. You know, do I want to take the 10 seconds to restart my game now? Or do I want to lose half a second every single Xeal? You know, and so eventually, once the load time gets to be a little bit higher, I would suggest to restart the game every few hours or so. One thing that's important is your health and taking breaks. I know that doesn't sound very pro gamer of me, but Realistically, you guys are going to be sitting down for 12 hours here. You should plan bathroom breaks and out a meal, or at least snacks and other routines that you need to take care of ahead of time. And you should also inform your family or roommates or whoever lives with you so you can minimize interruptions and all that. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're not eating, if you're not using the bathroom, you will be distracted, and that might mess with your reaction speed. It might mess with your click times. As goofy as it is, you need to take care of your body to stay locked in. You know what I'm saying? So feel free to take little breaks. And if you are taking a break, you know, you don't have to do Xeals the whole time. Now, it's ideal and perfect to do Xeals. If you are like stepping away to use the restroom or something, you know, feel free to just pop one raid, 2 raids, you know, take a minute away. You know, nobody's gonna flame you because you ran 5 raids over the 12 hours of your Ultragor. You know, maybe they will, but at the end of the day, it's your character, your account. You can run the Ultragor how you want. One thing I want to cover, and this one might even be seen as controversial upon the absolute XP maxers, but I'm in the camp who is going to do it. You will level up a bunch of times during this. Unless you're level 990, then you might get like 1 level. But for folks, and especially if you're lower level than me, 500, I mean, I need how much XP to get to my next level? Like 1 million or whatever. Like, I will be leveling up a lot during the 12 hours of Xeals. So I'm going to be getting, you know, full energy bars. And so one quick tip is to have in your smithy, when you come to craft, make sure it is filtered to currencies, and make sure you know where those raid shards are. Now, depending on what kind of gamer you are, you could consider crafting Xeals, you could consider crafting shards. 99% of people craft shards, and I would recommend that. But basically, you're gonna level up. You're gonna wanna, like, as fast as you can, be ready to click smith, craft, scroll, craft, yes, on those raid shards. I would honestly practice it a few times before you go in, because let's say you level up 20, 40, 50 times, you know, depending what level you are, the lower the level, the more you'll level up. Basically, if you're going to be crafting your energy into raid shards, just be prepared, because the last thing you want is, you know, for you to be stuck in here and you're like, don't have it filtered or whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, where are those raid shards? And you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Maybe you scroll past them, but it's right here. So filter it down to currencies. Know where on the... Oh, on Steam, you can actually click on the bar where it is. So if you just click halfway down and drag a little bit, well, I just figured that out. That's actually kind of slick. If you just move your mouse like 1 pixel after clicking on the bar on Steam, it comes down right to the shards. So, pro tip I just found out. So that's pretty slick. But yeah, assuming you level up like 40 times, I mean, you might have 100 shards to run after your Ultragor is over. So, so yeah, I just wanted to cover that, because a lot of people and myself would hate to lose out on, like, you know, 600 energy or 6 raid shards. Like, that's, in my opinion, you will get more XP from 6 raid shards than you will get from those microseconds saved by just ignoring it and keep hitting regroup and run. Okay, so with all that out of the way, that is the strategies we're going to be doing for 12 hours. Now comes down to the preparation. So like I said, you're going to want 6,000 Xeals. You're going to want Adgor, Permagor. You know, Permagor is of course better because it will last the whole 12 hours. But before you pop that Ultragor, make sure you watch all 5 of your Adgors, because this is plus 50% XP and plus 50% movement speed. Now, and those are the 2 we really want to maximize. XP, of course, is just going to boost your XP gains, and movement speed is going to increase the amount of runs per hour you can clear. So we're really going to be focusing in on those 2. So Adgor, Permagor, that's a source of XP and movement speed. Another source is in your guild. Make sure your guild has maximum experience and maximum movement speed. Do not settle for less. And if you're in a guild without these, either heckle the guild leader to get them up, which, you know, I'm guild leader of my guild, I need to get these up. You know, after this expedition, I'm gonna hopefully get XP maxed and movement speed maxed. So make sure that you're in a guild with max XP and movement speed. And then also make sure that you have runes on, and I would highly suggest mythic experience runes. You know, between the plus 25, that's plus 50% right there. That's basically another Adgor worth of experience gained there. And then also this one is a little bit sneaky, but your mount, if you have a mythic mount, comes with plus 50% movement speed. So make sure you have a mythic mount as well, because that time saved by that extra speed is going to increase your runs per hour, increase your XP per hour, basically increase the amount of XP you can get during those 12 hours. And when you're doing thousands of runs, that speed adds up quite a bit. And then on top of that, Friday daily bonus. Now, here I am sitting on an event week, so it's a little bit different, but Friday gives plus 50% XP. Now, during events in previous years, daily bonuses have been doubled, so Fridays would normally give double their normal 50, so it'd be plus 100% XP on a Friday bonus. But that has not been the case lately. The past like 3 or 4 events have been giving these daily bonuses where it's plus 50% everything except movement speed. And so I just want to call out, you know, I don't know if these will be ever go back to plus 100% Fridays, but it could. But regardless, Friday is going to be the best day on a normal week. And if it is during an event week and this is what we'll get forever, you know, still technically, you know, you could probably do it any day during an event because it does give the XP there. So just wanted to call that out. Make sure you're getting that plus 50 on a daily bonus. And then this one is going to be for the NFT Andes and for the Coco Andes. If you guys are familiar with Coco boosting, it's something I just learned about when watching one of World Leader's streams. So shout out to World Leader. But there is a boost, and this is for NFT holders only, and you have to have this boost on your main account. Or, well, really it just boils down to having a hero bound boost. And I only know of Coco. Coco is a hero bound boost that increases your item find, XP, gold find, and movement speed by 75% for 24 hours. Now the trick is, and I'm not going to do it because I only have one, but you pop the hero bound boost on your main account, then you switch heroes to your NFT, and then since it's a hero bound boost on your NFT, it will not show up. So on your NFT, then you come back, pop your Ultragor that is player bound, and then you jump back onto your main account as quickly as possible, and then you start grinding, and you will actually have both of them stacked. And what's really nice about Coco is it gives plus 75% XP and movement speed. So that's another source of experience and movement speed that is just, you know, pretty high. You know, that's more than Adgor, more than the runes, more than the mount. Like that's an awesome boost on top of that to have. And we're doing 6,000 Xeals plus. I mean, 75% XP is going to add up to quite a bit. Now, if you're not an NFT holder, sadly the Coco doubling, sadly you won't be able to stack Coco with anything. You will just be stuck with using only the Ultragor. So combining everything as far as the XP boosts go, the 1200% from Ultragor, the 75% from Coco, 50% from Adgor or Permagor, 50% from XP runes, 50%, and I'm just gonna call it 50% from Friday daily bonus. You could consider this 100%, but just to play it safe, I'll say 50% Friday daily bonus, then plus 10% from your guild perks. You will have a whopping 1,000, if you follow all these, you will have a whopping 1,435% experience boost. And then very similarly for movement speed, you will have, you know, 1,200% from Ultragor, 75% from Coco, 50% from Adgor and Permagor, 50% from your mythic mount, and then an extra 10% from your guild perks, for again another whopping 1,385% movement speed bonus. So obviously these are crazy high XP and movement speed bonuses. You'll be able to clear battles super quickly with double or triple extort, and you will just get such high XP per battle that you'll just soar in levels gained over 12 hours. I do want to really quick shout out that, and if you were looking at my inventory, I do have 2 Ultragors, you know, and I got them both in the last month. There was a good shop deal for gems. I got it on my 8th pull, super lucky. And then, you know, from the Feline Festival as well. So I'm going to be planning a couple of separate streams, not doing them back to back, but a couple of separate streams where I'm going to try to take advantage of all of the stuff I listed in today's video. If you guys are interested in watching me stream both my Ultragors, please go ahead and join my Discord below and stay subscribed to me on YouTube. And if you are on my Discord, check the announcements. I'll, of course, make an announcement when I will be doing that stream. I want to take a second to give a big shout out and thank you to my current channel members, as well as my current stream boss, Jason Baker. Thank you so much for supporting on stream. That's pretty much going to be all for this one, guys. Again, double good luck if you do go for an Ultragor push. Let me know how much XP you got, how many Xeals you went through, and all those kind of things in the comments below. And yeah, that's all for this one, guys. Until next time, take care and good luck with your grind.